Alright guys, today we're going to be looking at the best combos for the Arid Sport Gloves. In my opinion, one of the most slept on, like close to S tier gloves you can get in the game. So here we're going to look at the best combos which will allow you to build a full loadout in CS2. Today's video is sponsored by Skinport, the easiest and safest way to trade CS skins. And Skinport has made buying and selling CS skins even better, as their selling fee has been reduced to 8%, meaning more money in your pocket while still getting the same great service. It also drops to 6% for items over €1,000, and on private sales it's only 2%. I love it! Skinport offers a seamless and trusted marketplace for buying and selling Counter-Strike skins. It's fast, reliable, and designed with the community in mind. So, with a slick 3D viewer, over 2 million skins, and an excellent Trustpilot rating, Skinport is the obvious choice for selling your CS2 skins and for adding to your inventory. Check out the link in the description, and thanks to Skinport for sponsoring today's video. Now, we are dealing with some slow server frames, but hopefully we can get through the video in one piece here. So the gloves here you're seeing are field tested, and these are just shy of $1,900. So right out of the bat, just to let you know, our gloves are not cheap, and if you're going for them, you're probably going for a slightly more expensive loadout at a baseline. And for me, I think the lower knives are absolutely perfect with them. I'm aware, and Gochu might jump in and criticize me for this. I know it's a yellow gold into like this yellowy mustard brown, but with the color of the handle pairing in a little bit with the DD pack colorings, we have those little shades of green. You got then the nice yellow gold onto the yards. For me, I think it's a really nice combination. Obviously, you go for any lower. The butterfly itself is $2,125, which is pricey. And then on the CT side, just to clear up edges, I've actually gone for Ricksaw. Now, normally I pick Ricksaw because he's sleeveless. However, with this current update, as you can see, you do see his left sleeve. However, in this case, because of the color of it and the color of the gloves, I thought it could kind of work. Now, if you're not vibing with the lower, let me show you two other knife options. If you were looking to spend like the same sort of money, you could actually look at a vanilla bayonet. So vanillas in general work really nice with the Arid gloves. And I know what you're thinking, maybe it's a neutral knife. Of course it's going to work, but it doesn't work with every single glove in the game. The Arids are one of the better options. So again, you could go any vanilla. For me, I think you want to look at something like an M9 if you can and you've got the budget to. But then to provide a knife that is much more budget friendly and is another option people like to look at with the Arids, we have the case harden. Now, specifically going for gold gem, yellow gem, piss patterns, whatever label you want to put on it. Try and get as little blue as possible, so you got that yellowy gold into the color of the gloves. This is a paracord knife. Now, the pattern will have appeared on screen somewhere. I can't see it on the sheet right now, but I have tracked the pattern, and it is a it's only got like 1.5% of blue on the top of the blade, which means you get basically the gold piss gem. Now, that's enough of looking at the knives and the combos. What about the weapon skins? Well, for the USP, I'm actually going to suggest a Battle Scarred Traitor to kick things off. Now, this one is lower float in the Battle Scarred range, so it doesn't go quite as crazy gold wear as it can do. But for me, for $10, for something more unique, I like that this has a lot of gold in the back, and then you've got some nice complementary colors. However, if you're really set on, like, I want to have something that pairs perfectly with the gloves color, then you could save a bunch of money going for the 27, because in field test, this is like 10 cents, and really, when you're using it, it's going to cover what you want color-wise. But for me, I think going for like a Battle Scarred Traitor, even a Battle Scarred Jawbreaker could be a really nice option. And I've actually got a few weapons with double suggestions. So the first is going to be the P250. My go-to would be the Apeptic Curse. This is what I'd always suggest. It's what I'd probably use myself, and I have used myself in the past. This is minimum wear souvenir that we priced for. Honestly, you can rock this even in Battle Scarred. It will get some scrapes, some scuffs. The color will change a little bit, but it still holds up really well. I have an alternative, and it's going to be the Red Rock. Now, plus side here is this is cheaper. It's $8.70 for minimal wear. The reason I've suggested that is because it has the same DD pack pattern that you get on the inside of the gloves. Now, obviously, the color is a little bit different, but it does have greens and it does have yellows. So I think overall, you can see where this comparing. And now, for the Desert Eagle, I decided to go very different. I've actually gone for a hand cannon. Now, I've gone for it in a Battle Scarred because it does start to get this sort of like yellow effect onto it on the staining, and you can see the server frames going all over the place. I do apologize, I cannot control this. This is like a $245 deal, so it is expensive. However, I think with the gloves, now blue and yellows do kind of work well together as well. Or sorry, I should say blue and brown works well together, and that's essentially what we're getting here with a little bit of yellow coming through. So I'd like this as maybe like a sleeper pick that you wouldn't always look at. And then on the dual Berettas, I actually went for the tread. Now, I love the hideout with these gloves. I think they're budget friendly, they look really good, but there's something about the tread this time just kind of caught my attention. I think definitely an idol. Those browns just work well with the amount of browns that we have on the gloves. And then a skin that I do have the pattern off, this is the 5.7 case hardened. It is minimal wear and the pattern is 537. However, there were a number of patterns I found on marketplaces around this price that you could pick up. And once again, it's going case hardened and just trying to get as much of the yellowy gold as possible. And it is a bit of a shame this is the best option. I would like something different, so I know Valve maybe cook up something for us. On the MP9, you can go for the Starlight Protector, which is a very nice sort of colorful pop to get with these gloves. For the sake of $5, you're going to get gold, which the thing with these gloves are, they are mustard yellowy brown, right? But it means that you can get away with brown skins, you can kind of get away with some yellow skins, and you can definitely get away with some gold skins in my book. So having the accent colors here of so heavily gold while getting some pops, I really like this. And then we actually get used for some, like, I'm going to say unique skins, because, like, you normally wouldn't see them. This is the MP7 Short Orca. This got released with the update at the beginning of the year, bro. And it's just one of those skins. It's not like 5 cents. You're not going to see it used in game much, but it actually works quite well with the gloves. And then one that you don't see often because of the price is the UMP. The Gold Bismuth is over $6, but you can't look at this and tell me that it is not like a match made in heaven for these gloves. Especially that browny gold is absolutely perfect together. Alright, I have 2 XMs. Both are super cheap to the extent that you can probably just buy both and rotate between them if you need to. Now, the first one is going to be the Mockingbird. It's 8 cent minimal wear. Going to do the job really nicely. You got the brown, you got the gold, a little bit of silver in there as well, just to try and complement. And the alternative, you're asking me, well, it is an Uruzumi, which in minimal wear is 12 cent. I'm pretty sure this is what I ran when I had the Arids. At least if the time is aligned. I had Arids, I had an Uruzumi. I'm pretty sure I had them at the same time together. But yeah, for 20 cent, you could have both these XMs and rotate. And for that price, I'd be doing it personally. And I think this shows the range you get with these gloves. Because, like, yes, they're all in the same sort of tone of color, but there's so many different colors that work. So here's the copper coated. This is a 90 cent Mag 7. And for me, I still think this works really nicely with the gloves, even though it's that slightly different color. Like, honestly, this next bit is probably going to be the most controversial area, because it seems weird to suggest spending $4,000 on a knife and glove combo if you went for the butterfly, and then spend 40 cents on the Emperor A1S. However, I'm going to do exactly that, because the mud spec is perfect with these gloves. Whether you want to use it in factory new or all the way to battle scarred, it's going to hold up well, which is really good. So even if you want to run with my alternative that I'm going to showcase in a second, I would say for the sake of 40 cents, you should have a mud spec in that inventory. And the alternative that a lot of people like to use is the golden coil. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a good skin. It's a shame it has this glitchy bit at the back when you inspect it, and that's why I ended up selling mine, just because it bugged me. $105 minimal wear. You can go down to battle scar to try and get the gold to get a bit more browny tint on it, but for me, flat out pairing wise, the mud spec is the better pairing option. However, obviously the golden coil as a skin is better. And then don't fear, we got 3 M4 A4s. Now, the one that I think you should be going with is the Sheet Lightning. This is just under $20 now, and this is by no means the flashiest skin, no pun intended. Like, but it does a good job. It is a solid skin, and in regards to like the color pairing with the gloves, this is spot on. And this is one where I like actually having the agent sleeve come in, because I don't know, it just adds a little bit extra to it, complements it quite well. And while I don't have prices for them on hand really quickly, I did want to showcase two of the other options I had in consideration at the time of planning. Royal Paladin is one of them. Again, I think Sheet Lightning just flat out looks better. That's why I picked it, but it's another option. And then there's also the Desert Strike, which for me is better than the Royal Paladin, but not quite as good as the Sheet Lightning. I had them planned and noted down, so I just wanted to jangle them real quick for you guys. The AWP is one area where I'm kind of open to see if there's any more creative solutions you guys might have. So my first suggestion is going to be the AWP Mortis. Now, the reason for that is this is a brown skin and it's brown gloves. Some parts of it pair well together, others not so much, but for the sake of $3.50, it's kind of hard to complain against. And my more expensive option, I picked the Elite build, because I feel like with a craft on this, you could do something interesting. But when I look at both, it's like clear that the Mortis is the better option. I'm sure someone's screaming out about using the Black Nile in Battle Scarred, and that's probably a shout. But is there anything else outside of that? If I've missed something, please let me know in the comments, guys. And as we try to tie the CT to a close, we're going to have the Famous Commemoration. $9 minimal wear. One of the best Famous skins in the game, flat out, and a perfect option for these gloves. And then ending the CT side now, finally, once and for all, we have the Augustin Affiliate. $3.50 minimal wear. I've had this skin in and out of my loadout maybe 4 or 5 times. It just always finds a way in, and as I endlessly change my loadout, it finds its way out. But for these gloves, if you have these gloves, you have to have that as an option. Now, I've got my ADHD knife back, so I can spam the animations for you guys. Now, for the CT side, or not the CT, for the T side, what are we going for? Agent-wise, I've opted for the Sir Buddy Skullhead Darrell, who is a whopping $50. It's not this Darrell. This is my own Darrell who has silver accents, which you can see. This guy has gold accents, which for me, I think it's like if you went with the M9 vanilla, I think you would want Silent Darrell for the silver. But if you're going for the lower, and that's my main suggestion, I think you want the gold just to really tie everything in. You can see the watch there as you're using it, and just to get straight onto the Glock, it's going to be a romantic reach. Under $10 now for minimum wear. It's actually been under that for a while, but this one for me, like, it's got the brown, it's got the gold, it's perfect for these gloves, and it's the reason I initially bought my Glock with the Golden Craft. And these gloves are actually the reason why I crafted a Tech 9 Mummies route as well, so that's going to be my Tech 9 suggestion, because again, this and the Glock are absolute perfect pairings, and there's another one in here which is so good, and we'll get to it, but under $1 for this. It's one of the best Tech 9 skins in the game. I absolutely love it. I was torn between using the DZ or R8 once again. I decided to go R8 purely because the inlay is like 3 cents, so this is a very much a filler option. You're probably not going to use it much in game, so I don't want to spend much, but I will at least want it to pair if it can. Now, the Mac 10 suggestion depends how crazy you want to be, because my go-to is not going to be the gold brick. It's actually going to be the copper bore, which is $180 in factory now. This is pattern-based, but color-wise, it's not going to change too much. For me, it's got this really nice Norse pattern on it, and the colors are in those brown tones, so it looks really good. And I'm kind of skipping over the gold brick being a middle option, but it is a middle option if you want to. And the budget option is the Echoing Sands for 20 cents in minimal wear. It's clear to see when you're looking at it a reason why I went for the copper bore. Like, yes, it's expensive, but yes, it gives you that S tier vibe, which is what you want here. And I mentioned there'd be another weapon skin in here that is perfect with these gloves. It's from that same Anubis collection. It's a Scarred brush. Now, in Battle Scarred, you get the Easter eggs on this. I think color-wise, it also gets better. This is $2.80 a P90, but it is worth every cent for how good of a skin it is and how good of a pairing it is. And then on the PP Bison, you get a Harvester for 23 cents. There wasn't really much to offer here, and so we'll just skim over it. Another area that was like a bit of a small struggle was the Gale, because it is the Chatterbox, but it's not really a one-for-one pairing. I ultimately went for the Metallic Squeezer. It's $1.60 factory new. It's $1.60 plus, depending on the pattern you go for. I've generated one that has bronze, silver, and gold, just to give you the idea of the different colors available on it. But obviously, I think you'd want to hunt for either a bronze patterned one, or a gold one, or a bronze and gold pattern. Essentially, you want to remove as much silver as possible and go in for the bronze and the gold, because that's what's going to pair best with the gloves. Now, we're almost at the end of this, but we have to look at the AK. I have 3 options for you guys. I'm going to show the one I'm pricing for first, because that's going to be the AK-47 Inheritance. This, for me, is one of the best pairings you can get for AK and gloves in the game, and it's still heavily slapped on, probably because of the price of the gloves, but I think this is an absolutely amazing pairing. Obviously, if you were to craft on top of this as well, it's great. Now, this is minimal wear, which is $125 at the time of planning, which is the 5th of August. You can save money going field test it down the Battle Scarred, but something about it here, I quite like minimal wear with these gloves. And as I know there'll be someone outraged in the comments that I didn't suggest it initially, gold arabesque is an option, and people love it with these gloves. It is, however, $5,000 factory new, and the pricing does get much better even if you go for lower condition. It's just stupidly expensive. If you like this and you want to go down that path, I would look at the Pantera Onca, honestly. But I promised you a third AK, and here it is. It's the Be the Monster, which is almost $400 for minimal wear. But why I like this is you have heavy gold accents and then just pops the colors throughout. So the gold, where especially with the hand, sits on the rifle, got to pair in really nicely. But then you get crazy artwork throughout just to give it a nice pop. For me, Inheritance still wins, but this would be second best. And then we also have a budget-friendly and an expensive scout option. So the budget-friendly one would be the Death's Head. It's just shy of $10, but overall, pretty good skin. For me, I'd prefer this to be under 5, but like if you're a scout enjoyer and you wanna use it, then I mean this is what it is. You're gonna buy it. The one that I prefer to have with it is the Death Strike. However, in minimal wear, this is $615. Now I'm aware it's available in souvenir. That's where you can save some cost, but for the sake of it, it was so much more expensive than the Death's Head. I was like, I may as well show what are the more expensive options anyway. And then we ended off on the Triarch for the SG, which is nice, cheap and cheerful, budget-friendly goodness. Now, the question is, what about the total cost of this loadout? Well, it actually comes in under $5,000, and that's for the Butterfly Lures. This is $4,765, which, don't get me wrong, it's a lot of money and it's expensive. But when you look at the grand scheme of Counter-Strike loadouts, this is an incredibly clean. Like the fact this is 0.25 field tested flow, It is super clean. Like, it is so good for the gloves in every way. Holding guns, having the knife out. Someone is spamming their gun behind me here. This is great. Bloody hell. Hopefully that wasn't too loud for you guys. That'll be a fun one for editing. But like, you're getting a butterfly lure in minimal wear, great condition. You're getting Sport Gloves Arid, which for me are slept on, like, I'll argue S tier gloves. You get Hand Cannon Desert Eagle. You get like Inheritance AK. You get good skins throughout, man. It's just a very good loadout. What about the other knives, though? If you went for the M9, honestly, it's very close to being the same price. You don't see actually, you see about 3K. It goes down to $4,440, but it's still a pricey loadout. For me, I prefer the butterfly. Maybe you guys prefer the M9. And the budget friendly option was the paracord, but this guy is doing a very nice piece of art for us. This is the guy spamming his gun. He's done this very nice art, and that's probably what a lot of you guys are thinking about this knife right now. But this would save you a lot of money. It gets you down under the 3K mark, which might be preferable. But there we go. That's the best combinations for the Arid as of August of 2025. We will get more nice additions added in the future, I'm sure, from Valve, and then this will look even better and just slowly build out and build out. But there we go. I have waffled long enough. Big thank you for you guys for watching the video. A big thank you to YouTube members who continue to support the channel. We do have another viewer loadout coming up soon, and if you want to skip the queue for viewer loadout requests, becoming a member is one of the perks you'll get. But there you go, guys. Thank you for all the current members. I'll catch you guys in the next one. The servers are very junky this fine evening, so thank you for watching. Goodbye.